Moin! Ark Raiders is a multiplayer extraction adventure set in a lethal future Earth, ravaged by a mysterious mechanized threat known as Ark. These Ark machines build a, for this genre, surprisingly complex roster of enemies. And while they are generally built to function by themselves, they become considerably more dangerous if multiple enemies attack you all at once. On the most basic level is the combination of the Wasp and the Hornet, two flying drones that shoot the player with projectiles. The Wasp has a fast-firing gun that deals a decent amount of damage, but it's very fragile and easy to take out. The Hornet features a taser that quickly destroys shields, making players more vulnerable to the attacks of the Wasp. The taser can also stagger players, so they become an easier target. And the Hornet features more armor and will get closer to the player, creating some natural cover for the Wasp. These styles of enemy synergies can be inspected for many of the enemies in Ark Raiders. Some enemies are countered by cover or elevation, and others can remove these advantages from players. If they encounter both at once, they will have to come up with new strategies, resulting in quite interesting engagements, especially when considering other titles of the same genre. Enemies also feature multiple destructible parts. Most notably on the previous mentioned drone-style enemies, you can break their turbines. If you break one, they will lose a lot of their flight control. If two are gone, they usually just crash into the ground. Similar components are on most other types of enemies as well, allowing you to cripple enemies' movement or combat abilities. Also interesting is that many enemies feature armored components, which are quite durable against attacks of many weapons. But using explosives or armor-breaking tools can allow to destroy these pieces, exposing enemies to higher DPS weapons. So for most enemies, players can create their own weak spots, or try to hit the gaps in the enemy's armor. Most flying enemies also take damage when they fly into walls or similar, so knocking them around or baiting them into a dense forest can allow for easy kills. This comes in combination with the heavy physics influence on many enemies, so flying enemies can react to being shot or being tackled, and grounded enemies can be pushed around using explosives. This allows you to knock enemies into each other and then use explosives on both of them, or to push them into strategically disadvantaged positions. Lastly, enemies also feature friendly fire, so destroying exploding enemies while they are next to other enemies, or positioning yourself so that enemies are between you and the line of fire of another enemy, are valid strategies. Just be aware that enemies try to navigate around allies, so they will not simply shoot them unless they have already prepared to fire. That's all for now. Let me know if you have learned anything else about the Ark Raider enemies, and we will talk more about interesting game features in the next video. Until then, cheers!